Welcome to the Cryptonomatron. Today I'm doing an ICO review on WaBi. So what is WaBi? Well, WaBi is a crypto token for safe consumer products. WaBi means frog coins, translated from Mandarin Chinese, hence the frog logo. So who are WaBi's competitors in the crypto space? There's only one I can think of, and they're not directly in competition, at least I don't believe so, and that's Walton Chain. However, if you can think of any others, let me know in the comments below. The reason I mention Walton Chain is because both these companies utilize RFID technology, Walton Chain for tracking of goods, and WaBi for eliminating counterfeits. So let's look further at the problems WaBi intend to solve. So first of all, 461 billion US dollars of imported fake goods in circulation globally. And that's a major problem for any of the manufacturers for these goods, and also an issue for safety as well. The regular authenticity and food safety scandals in China and fake pharmaceuticals in play around the world. It's a massive problem. It might not be where you are, but certainly in China and other areas like Nigeria, where apparently 64% of all the pharmaceuticals are actually counterfeit. And another problem is that blockchain is unable to solve the problem without a link between the digital and physical assets. So that's what WaBi intend to solve. So their aims are: they want to link the digital and physical assets through RFID labels with anti-copy functionality. They want consumers to be able to authenticate the product through their phone. And they intend to do this by selling consumer products, baby food, cosmetics, alcohol, pharmaceuticals, etc., all the most commonly counterfeited goods, protected by their technology. So they intend to have the WaBi project, which is a blockchain-based loyalty program to encourage and reward purchases in the WaLami safe channel, and to establish collective security through individual action. Now, to sum that up and simplify, WaLami are the sister company to WaBi, and WaLami make the RFID tags. And what they're suggesting is that the individual uses their phone or device to check the product's authenticity at the retail store, thus confirming it's safe to buy, and therefore being part of the blockchain operation. Now we'll see how this works in just a moment. So going on to the technology now, it's already operational. They're already in retail stores as we speak. And what happens is mobile apps are available for download from the Apple Store, Google Play, QQ Store, and Baidu App Store. Those last two will be in China, obviously, only. And secure RFID labels with unique anti-reuse design. So basically, when the label or when the say a tin of baby powder, once it's open, the label has to be broken, much like an anti-tampering seal on current products. Once it's tampered with, it breaks and it cannot be reused. So where is their market? Well, they've already tested as a pilot in several markets in China. They've had very positive feedback from hundreds of clients regarding the safety of their products and the usability. And they had sales through 3 pilot O2O terminals at China's baby stores, and that started just in September 2017. So what about the WaBi tokens? Well, WaBi is a digital cryptocurrency which supports WaLami's anti-counterfeit system and is backed by sales of the products protected by the WaLami technology. So effectively they're going to put a blockchain on the WaLami RFID technology, and the tokens are going to interact within the ecosystem. Consumers around the world are able to purchase products protected by WaLami technology with the tokens. And it's very important because that gives the tokens a real value and a real use case. So what about the counterfeiting scandals? Well, most of you will be aware there have been several in China, mostly involving milk, powdered milk, or baby foods, or something of similar description. So in 2004, at least 63 babies died in Fuyang and rural areas of Anhui in China after consuming fake baby milk. In 2008, 6 infants were killed and 54,000 hospitalized. China reported 300,000 victims in total, and that is an incredible number from counterfeit products going on a market. So we can see there is a big potential for this to take root. As we discussed before, there's 461 billion USD of value in value of imported fake goods, and 64% of pharmaceuticals in Nigeria are fake, according to the World Health Organization, which is a remarkably high number. So the solution, of course, is cryptographic technologies akin to blockchain open new horizons by ensuring the uniqueness of digital assets and the security of transactions. Basically, the infallible nature of the blockchain ledger means that now we can track everything. All we need to do is have something in the physical world we can track, then we can apply the blockchain to it, and we can make sure we can eliminate any problems. The problem in this case being the counterfeiters. There has yet to be a technology able to securely protect the link between physical and digital assets while being cost effective. So they've obviously developed this technology to be very cost effective, so it can be applied to loads of products at very cheap cost. So far, only high-end products such as diamonds could benefit from the security of this digital ledger system, the blockchain, through expensive scanning of physical parameters. WaBi has developed a solution that securely links a physical item to its digital representation at a cost that allows them to protect everyday consumer goods such as milk powder, pharmaceuticals, alcohol, and cosmetics, both physically and digitally. And again, just back to what I was saying, that is basically saying that they've now got the technology and they've made it cost effective enough for widespread use. So the unique challenges that they had to overcome, the first ones were physical. So one of the key challenges in designing the WaBi label was to find a perfect balance between the robustness of the label. It needed to maintain securely attached to the product throughout its journey to the consumer without a chance of accidental breakage. So that's quite important. The other problem was fragility. The label needed to break easily if the product's packaging is opened or if there's a counterfeit or refilling attempt. The other unique challenges were in digital. They wanted to bring industry-level security to everyday consumer goods. They had to work within very tight hardware constraints while leveraging insights from cryptography, signal processing, economics, and behavioral science to create the WaBi system. So one of the issues was microsecurity. That's individual tags are securely protected against falsification or copying. And that's a major problem because if you can copy the product, you will go out your way to copy the tags as well to make it look authentic. And system-wide security. On the macro level, the system prohibits any unauthorized tampering. So the core technology, WaBi label is applied at a designated point of origin along the supply chain, possibly the factory. This links the product with its digital representation in the cloud, containing an encrypted unique ID for the product, a dynamic code, and geographical data of where it's been and where it's gone. So, products with the WaBi label are sold on location. Customers can scan the label with the WaBi app on the smartphone, which reads the ID, dynamic code, and geographical data. And this information is then sent to the cloud for verification. And the public verification result is displayed to the consumer. In the case of the WaBi app, it's a green tick is displayed to show you that it's actually okay. And the dynamic code is changed and label data is sent back to the cloud. So after consumers have scanned the item with the WaBi app, a set of digital objects is stored within the cloud. Data from consumer scans are checked against their digital state. And digital and physical objects are constantly synchronized, meaning the blockchain ledger keeps everything recorded and there can be no infallibilities as the ledger system is immutable. So, as to security, well, WaBi's system effectively defends itself against label cloning attacks. As I mentioned before, if you're going to counterfeit a tub of baby food and it has a label on it, then you'll try and clone the label as well to make it look like your product is as authentic as possible, even when it isn't. So how do they defend themselves against the label cloners? Well, we've got two scenarios here. Scenario one is when a sophisticated attacker, but the supply chain is not compromised, the system response will be the geolocation data will fail to match, and it will result in a failure of authentication when the consumer scans the label with their phone, as the geolocation data will be different from the original product. Very, very simple. Now, scenario two is a little bit more complex. Again, a sophisticated attacker. The supply chain in this case is compromised, meaning the counterfeiter is able to place products in designated locations. And what will happen after that is, if the product is not taken out of circulation, there is a time gap in the cloning and placing the object in circulation, which typically requires several days, and the next customer scanning the original object, in case of the fast-moving consumer goods, typically takes a few minutes. During this gap, the pairing conditions are changed, and thus prohibiting the authentication. If the product is already taken out of circulation, in order for it to make economic sense, the counterfeiter needs to either sell the fake object at a price premium to the original, which is counter to his original objectives, or to create multiple copies of the object. However, scanning one such counterfeit product will desynchronize the rest of the batch, and that will invalidate any further matching attempts and make the product unsaleable. So they've already thought of what can actually go wrong, and they're one step ahead of the counterfeiters in most cases. So moving on, you can actually mine this coin, and by mining I don't mean you actually mine it with a Bitmain miner or your computer GPU. You actually mine it with your smartphone when you check the label. So if you authenticate a product, you will get coins for doing so. So the way it works is as follows. One of the crucial security ingredients of the Walmart anti-counterfeiting system is the state of permanent flux created by the dynamic codes that update the system state with each scan. So the distributed verification process gives the system its crucial robustness, but at the same time subjects it to the voting paradox. And this means that with a sufficient level of trust in the WaBi brand, consumers might not feel the need to scan the product at all, thus not updating the system. And that could cause a problem because you're not actually verifying it, therefore not sending the information back to the cloud. So how do they get around this? The dynamic is dangerous, as it may reduce the rate of system churning necessary to prevent counterfeiters from slipping in a fake product. Therefore, it being essential, they provide the consumers with the incentive to keep scanning the labels before they purchase and authenticating through their smartphone's RFID. They are going to offer a loyalty program that ensures a sufficient level of churning becomes a pivotal security attribute. And in other words, this just means every consumer that scans the WaBi label becomes a miner who is rewarded for their contribution with WaBi tokens. So in essence, they have to keep the blockchain and keep the information current and up to date, so no counterfeits can get slipped into the system. So this requires people before purchase to be checking the authenticity of the product with their smartphone. So the incentive to get people to do this is to give them WaBi tokens. So what about the WaBi token itself? Well, the WaBi is a unit of exchange in WaBi's protected goods ecosystem. It is a free-floating blockchain-based crypto token with strictly limited issue and exponential transaction growth potential. It is a unit in WaBi's loyalty program also, and it's backed by consumer demand for safe products. So what are its uses? Well, you can spend it on WaBi protected products, which will hopefully increase the value when it hits exchanges, giving us as investors a chance to profit. Mining WaBi coins by purchasing WaBi protected products and participating in the marketing activity. So as already stated, if you scan products and confirm their authenticity, then you will be rewarded with WaBi coins. And you'll be able to sell and buy WaBi coins on exchanges as tradable assets. So we'll take a quick look at how the ecosystem is going to work. You can see WaBi there at the top. Then they have the ICO on the left-hand side and 50 million tokens, which is approximately half, locked into escrow for putting back into the system. And merchants can reward consumers with WaBi. Consumers will spend WaBi on the goods themselves. ICO buyers, pre-ICO buyers and token holders can use the exchange to buy and sell WaBi tokens, and merchants can sell some WaBi to keep fiat trading volumes, and also WaBi are bought at exchange to access discounts or pay for products. So there's quite a lot of use for the tokens within this system. So now moving on to the ICO details themselves and some of the token metrics. The first day of the ICO is today, 28th of November 2018. The ICO will complete once the hard cap is reached or after 30 to 60 days. Now the hard cap is 46 million WaBi tokens for this portion of the ICO. Participation is by whitelist only, and unfortunately it's closed. It closed on the 21st of November, and participation is not allowed for US citizens, Chinese citizens, citizens of Vietnam and Singapore. The pre-sale was completed with 10 million tokens sold at 3 cents each. But pre-sale tokens will be locked for 3 to 6 months. Now, if you lock them for 3 months, you'll get a 5% bonus automatically. And if you lock them for 6 months, you'll get a 10% bonus. Or you have the option of buying them back as soon as it goes on exchanges at 25 cents each, which is the same price that ICO buyers will pay. Now, this is going to have a good effect to stop people dumping on exchanges, as they will probably hold their tokens for free bonuses or have to buy them back at the same ICO price, which is fantastic. And as I said, the ICO price itself will be 25 cents per token. And it's good that it's fixed in US dollars, as that negates the inflation of Ethereum in the last few weeks. As you know, a few weeks ago, probably when you heard about this and you were registering for the whitelist, Ethereum was probably at $300, $320. Ethereum's closer to $500 now, so it wouldn't have made it a very attractive proposition if you were getting the same number of tokens. The fact they're tied to the US dollar price is more attractive for us buyers. So there is a first day limit of $605 US per buyer, and it works out to 2,422 WaBi, and that applies to everybody. So the token sale is completely fair, doesn't matter who you are, that is your limit and you can't spend any more. The second day, the limit will double to 1,210 per buyer. It will then double again on the third day to 2,420, and then on the fourth day, the sale will continue until all tokens are sold with no limits. So I don't expect it to get that far, I'll be honest with you, but it's a good way of running an ICO. I like the fairness involved in this. The total supply of WaBi will be 100 million. Approximately 50 million WaBi will be locked after the ICO. 8 million are reserved for the team, and a total of up to 46 million WaBi will be issued after the ICO is complete. 1 million will be for the bounty campaign. Payments are accepted in Ethereum or Bitcoin. They will be converted to USD in the dashboard, and the token issued is ERC20 Ethereum standard. You have to have an Ethereum wallet like MyEther wallet or MetaMask to receive your tokens. So dead simple. Moving on to the roadmap. In September 2017, they already started sales at 3 baby stores as a pilot project, and it was very, very successful. In November, we have the ICO selling up to 46 million tokens. In November to December, the WaBi will start being traded on exchanges. So I assume as soon as the ICO is complete, Ether Delta will list a WaBi token, and you'll be able to trade it straight away once they're issued to your wallet, and then other exchanges will follow. And I expect this to be quite a rapid process, as it seems to be getting faster now for newer coins. After that, in December, activating sales of WaLami protected products through WaBi, and WaBi is used seamlessly by consumers to purchase the products. December to January, more baby shops will sell WaLami protected products, start of sales of alcohol with WaLami labels. In 2018, start of partnerships with producers and distributors of baby food and alcohol, adjusting WaLami technology for pharmaceutical products. And I assume this means that the labels have to be adjusted, because one label doesn't fit all. One label on a tub of baby milk, baby food, won't fit on a bottle of alcohol. It won't fit on pharmaceutical products either. So I think they're all going to have to be designed uniquely for each of their use cases. In 2019, they will extend use of WaBi to other areas, including loyalty programs by product manufacturers, air miles for consumer products, if you like, and partnerships with insurance companies and product insurance. So some of the other stuff you might want to know about WaBi. They spent 4 to 5 years on development already. They have special provisions in place for operating in China. WaLami is the registered company in China, and that deals with the manufacture and distribution of the labels, but WaBi, as its blockchain, is located elsewhere. RFID technology is getting wider adoption, with iPhones incorporating RFID scanning. And NFC-enabled phones are getting adopted for public transport payments in China, meaning you can pay when you get on a bus, a train, or whatever. And so phones are getting used more and more for this type of technology. Also, Chinese were allowed to have a second child in 2015, which alludes to the sale of baby milk, baby powders, baby products, and that being their main market at the launch of their ICO. So, brief look at the team. They are a competent team and advisors. There are 2 co-founders, and they are living in China. They've been doing business in China for quite a while. Both of them are fluent in Mandarin. There are 5 management team under them. They're all Chinese locals. There are 3 tech leaders, and there are 4 key advisors with experience from Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, Sony, and Alibaba were the companies that jumped out and got to my attention. So their partners, WaLami is the only partner I could see. They obviously have some partnerships in China with supermarkets and retail stores, as they're already operating in 3 of them. So there is no information I could find on any other partnerships, which was a bit disappointing. I had hoped to get some manufacturers or distributors details. So about the community, they're active on Telegram. They've over 7,500 members. They are active on Facebook. Last post was yesterday. Twitter, last tweet was 2 days ago. Bitcoin Talk Forum, they have a thread going there. They're on Reddit, they're on Slack, and they are on Medium as well. So, to sum it up, what do I think about the WaBi ICO? So there are several positives, and we'll go through them. The first one is they have a working product already being used, and that's very, very important, because it means our investment here in the ICO will be a lot less risk than going off a white paper or a concept that hasn't been proven yet. They have a competent team and advisors. They have a good range of skills. They have a good advisory experience in the relative fields, whether it's marketing. I noticed one guy used to work for Intercontinental Hotels as a marketing executive, and there are other executives from, as I mentioned, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, Alibaba, etc. So you can't really knock that. They've been involved at corporate level, very high level, so they know what it takes to get a product off the ground. They mostly, all of them, have experience of the Chinese market, which is very important, because if you're a businessman and you haven't actually been involved in any Asian or foreign markets before, especially in China, it can be very, very difficult to deal with. Number 4 is they have a unique product. As I mentioned earlier, they only really have one competitor, and that's Walton, and Walton isn't really used for the same purpose as WaBi. Walton is used for tracking goods and not necessarily used for anti-counterfeiting purposes. So very unique product. We like that. Number 5, excuse me, there is a multi-billion-dollar market in China alone, but worldwide it is phenomenal. So if this gets adopted by even a few companies worldwide, they're already into the billions. So really, this is, this could skyrocket. This could be a phenomenal success. And with the low circulatory supply of the tokens, really the sky is the limit for this one, guys. Number 6, it's a fair ICO. They're not giving big bonuses. There's no affiliate links. There's no dodgy sort of stuff going on. Everything's well laid out. Everything's transparent. Everybody gets the same amount of tokens for the first 3 days, regardless, which means a great spread of the tokens. Nobody will be able to dump immediately on the exchanges. So you know, it looks to me like this is going to be a great investment. So continuing on, number 7, well, pre-sale buyers have to lock tokens in to realize the incentives. Now, I believe there was a large volume requirement, large Ethereum purchasing requirement for pre-sale buyers. So they'll have a lot of tokens, and they got them at 3 cents each. So in order to get any incentives, they have to lock them away for 3 to 6 months, which means they can't dump immediately on exchanges. If they want to sell them immediately, they're going to have to buy them back out of lot for 25 cents each, the same price as the ICO buyers. I think that's a great idea, as it completely reduces the chance of millions of tokens going on the exchanges at under ICO price. Number 8, there's a relatively low circulating supply. I believe it will be around 46 million when it launches on the exchanges. It certainly will be around that number. And this means there's a good chance and a good potential for this to grow quite rapidly, especially with the low token price of 25 cents. Number 9, there's a real world use case and need for the product. As I highlighted earlier from their white paper, the dangers of counterfeiting are apparent. It's killed people, it's killed children. So there really is a use for this product. Could be very, very valuable in the future, which will only lead to more growth. Number 10, users can actively earn the WaBi tokens by being part of the system and the ecosystem. Scanning the labels, you can earn the tokens themselves. Number 11, they have a strong focus on marketing. Being in supermarkets already means they're actively out there getting their products in the retail space and letting consumers know they exist. Number 12, retail operations already in place. So only 3 at the moment, but the step to maybe a big supermarket chain is not that far away, and it won't be that difficult from the position they're in at the moment. Number 13, the initial token price and supply means there's good potential for a quick growth. So if you're interested in flipping this on the exchange, I assume there'll be a lot of buyers trying to get in this immediately as soon as it hits the exchanges, simply because they didn't register for the whitelist. The tokens are going to be limited, and even people that did get on the whitelist, if the tokens sell out, they might want more tokens, so they may go straight to the exchanges. So I can envisage quite rapid growth for this coin when it does reach the exchanges. Number 14, and this helped me do this presentation quite well because it was a clear and well-written white paper. I didn't need to read paragraphs over and over again. I didn't go that deep into the technology. I don't think we need to. We know what it does. We know its use cases, and that's enough. But it's very well written, the white paper, and very well presented. So I like that. It was easy to put it into this PowerPoint format to film the video. So excellent. There are a few negatives though, not many, but I'll point them out to you. One is no established partnerships of note. If they had been partnered with a supermarket chain or backed by a big conglomerate, then I think their ICO would have more weight. But that's not to say it could turn into a positive as well, as if supermarkets adopt this technology, then WaBi stands to grow in volume markedly. So having no partners at the moment might have been a blessing in disguise. Number 2. One that's everybody's concern is Chinese regulations could hamper use or growth of blockchain technology. The fact they've already made the provisions to handle this is good. However, it's something that's always a cloud over this technology in China. And number 3, there's questionable customer willingness and ability to scan the products. So my concern would be about this is customers are busy, especially in Asia. They don't tend to focus on scanning, or some of them don't have phones that are able to do RFID scanning. So that is another concern of mine. So what is my verdict about WaBi? Well, I am hopping mad for it. I think it's a great ICO. I think if you're already on the whitelist, you should purchase. You won't get another chance at this price, I don't think. I've given it 4.5 stars. They would have had a 5-star ICO had it not been for the lack of major partnerships with a large chain, and they may well have that and not have disclosed it. I don't know. I couldn't find any information about that. It's still a very solid ICO with the fair terms, the low circulatory supply, and the concept behind it. This is a no-brainer. It could be one of the best ICOs of the year, guys. If you're whitelisted, get in it. If you're not, pick it up as soon as it hits the exchange, because this one's only going one way, and that's up. If you look at companies like Walton that never even had a product and that were hyped, Walton went up to $8.50. So where can this one go? This one can do the same. This one could go higher. This one could go 100x, and I'm serious about that. I know it's often said in the crypto space that, yeah, this will go 5x, this will go 10x, and some ICOs do. Power did 10x. WaBi, I truly believe, has the potential to be one of the best ICOs I've been involved in since I started doing it, and one of the best that you've been involved in since you started doing it. So I would say if you're on the whitelist, you know, get into it as much as you can. I've trebled my position, or my intention to treble my position is there. I've already spent my first day's limit. Tomorrow I'll probably spend my second day's limit, and third day I'll probably spend that limit as well if I'm able, if this token's still left, because I truly believe in this project. I think it could really be one that that goes parabolic, guys. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and please subscribe. Please click the bell notification, not because you're a bell end, I do love my viewers, but because you'll get the notification straight away when I put a new video up. All right, guys? So let me know what ICOs or tokens you want me to review in the comments section, and I'll see you tomorrow with another review of something interesting.